Hello, guys. This is Jasper Santiago back again with something very different, something new that most people are probably wondering what the heck is this? This is going to be a podcast on, well, not a podcast because it's on YouTube, but it's pretty much not a video. The idea and the topic that we're going to be talking about today is going to be surviving a zombie apocalypse in New York City, which is definitely a cool thing because I live here, so I've been doing research on what would be beneficial, the pros and cons to surviving in NYC. And this is the video we're going to be talking about. Well, this isn't the video, but this is going to be what we're going to be talking about today. This is not what I usually do, but it's something that I will be doing going on forward and moving forward. I'm going to be having a couple of, I guess, what you would say is podcasts, breaking down maybe some shows and stuff like that. I'm also going to still continue doing the other videos that I've been doing. But as of now, I just thought it would be too much to deal with a camera and, like recording myself when I could just be speaking on the mic. When what's important is really what you're going to hear me talk about. And once again, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. If you're watching this, it means a lot. And like I said, if I need you right now to like, to comment, subscribe, to help me out. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. I need feedback, good feedback. I need to shut my phone off. That was loud. I need good feedback, and I'm just happy that you guys are here today. So let's get into this. This is gonna be for people that want to know about how to survive in NYC. This isn't for people who are like me that have already planned out everything and has done research, extensive research on surviving. But I have a whole document that I've been working on today that I will be reading from and also contributing. Okay, so let's get to it. If you live in New York, this video is for you. And if you're interested in hearing how some people in New York will survive the zombie apocalypse, then this is for you as well. My name is Jasper Santiago, and I'm planning on doing a series if this video gets enough positive feedback. Also, we're going to be talking about, the best weapons, best locations. That's if I do get the amount of feedback and love from you guys as I would hope. I definitely would love to go into a more detailed series where we talk about the types of zombies, the types of weapons you should be using, the locations, the safest locations throughout this, the all United States. There's so much that you can talk about, pertaining to the zombie apocalypse. So let's get into this. I'm going to continue reading off of what I've had written down and also adding lib and, breaking down it a little more. So the first thing you want to understand is and know for sure that there is some type of outbreak, something serious is happening. And the reason why it's important to know that because you want to make sure that you're not a fool, that you have got your bug out bag, prepared yourself for the zombie apocalypse, and it has not happened. It's not. It was just maybe like a little sickness or something. You want to know for sure. So it's good to know, and it's always good to be friends with some type of law enforcement, hospitals, military personnel, because they're going to be the first people to get notified about what's happening. Especially if you work in a hospital, the hospital is going to be the place where all the people are going to go to. That's where everybody who's sick. So you definitely want to stay away from the hospitals. So like I said, this is not really a zombie survival for like groups, like big families. This is more for the group. And yes, big family could be 5, but this is more for like 2, 3 people at most. So every situation is different, depending on if you're alone, if you have a significant other, kids, if you have pets, etc. It's always good to have some type of preparation plan ready for this moment. And one thing that's very important is strength in numbers. It would always be good for you to have people that you can trust and share the same interest. So give you an example, anyone that you know that is interested in maybe the same things that you are going to be better allies than someone who doesn't, because everyone's going to want to survive, but you want to make sure that you have people that you can trust. I know a lot of fake people that I see on a daily basis that I cannot trust them, especially not in a zombie apocalypse. And if I am with them, I am definitely tripping them for sure. But besides that, strength in numbers is very important. So you do want to potentially have a couple people that you can trust that is going to help you out. It's always good to have 25-year, 10-year shelf life stored food, where in a case of a situation like this, you'll be good and set for a while. It's good to be educated on what's happening. Like I said, this video is not for people who already know what their plan is, but if you already do know what your plan is, enjoy the video, sit down, get some popcorn, eat, put your legs up. Locations is good as if you, your loved ones, or close allies, or friends, or whatever people that you're going to be working with in a situation like this, it is good to have locations on file where you would say, hey, in case of a disaster, we're going to meet up here. Also, maybe to separate and, split up. While Charlie is going to Home Depot, Adam is going to, BJ's, and everyone is separating and picking up the proper things that we all need in order to survive, because depending on what's the situation, maybe you can just stock up with food and survive for a couple months and bam, everything is over. Or it could be like The Walking Dead, where it will last for more than a couple of years. So it's like I live in the heart of Queens, NYC, not too far from the city, and it's proven and it's sad, but it's proven that New York ranks the lowest of surviving a zombie apocalypse. We're the fourth largest city in the world, and you might say, why do we rank the lowest compared to the other three cities that are larger than us? Because we have strict gun laws. That is one of the reasons. Since we would do so bad during a zombie apocalypse and outbreak, whatever it is, let's just say, it's maybe you and your friend, or you and your sister, or you and your brother, or, a couple loved ones, because most likely anyone who's trying to get out of New York is going to lose a couple family members because of the sheer outbreak. It depends on how big the outbreak is. If this is a big outbreak where people are like turning instantly, we have 18 million people in the city of New York. That's going to be really difficult for you to survive a zombie outbreak with 18 million people that are losing their minds and are going crazy. Okay, so let's talk the numbers. Like I said, New York City ranks 4th for the most populated city in the world. It has 19 million people. I said 18, it has 19. And half of the people living in New York live in the city alone. So the other 10 million are spread out through the rest of upstate New York, which is more safer than living in the 5 boroughs. And like I said, the goal is 2 goals. Since you're living here during the zombie apocalypse, during the zombie outbreak, whatever it is, since you are living here, your goal is either to stock up and be prepared and lock and load yourself, or to get a safe route and leave. You want to get out as far as possible, as soon as possible, and stock up with a couple resources while you're on the go. So you only have 2 choices, and the safer choice would be to leave. There's so many little places in upstate New York that are safer. Maybe if you have family there, maybe if there's someone up, that up there that you can probably like contact and say, hey, things is going crazy, and get to work together. You need to get your group together. I have listed the least and most populated places in the 5 boroughs, and I'm just going to tell you what's the least populated. It would be Staten Island, which would potentially be a safer place. The population's less, so that means less zombies. But also, you would rather leave to either Pennsylvania or Long Island simply because it's more open land. You do not want to be in the city or in Brooklyn or Queens where it's like tight areas where it's just houses everywhere. You want open land where you can be safe and you can see from a distance, what zombies are there. And, in Long Island, you have a lot of houses separate. There's a lot of land, which is safer, much safer, because you can build a base out there. You ransack one of the Home Depots, cut down some trees. There's just so much that you can do out there compared to the city, and that would be your location. So if you're here in New York City, you want to get the hell out. That's the goal. So the next thing is the stores. The stores is very important. What stores do you want to hit? You want to be the first person to know the closest stores and the stores that you have to hit and where to go. If, let's say, everyone learned immediately it was the zombie apocalypse, the people that are going to have the upper hand are the people that have lists of things already prepared. They're already prepared. They know what they need. They know what they're going to get. They know where to go, which is the place they have to go, and they'll separate. So if there's a couple, even though that's dangerous, you might say, hey, you two go to the hardware store, pick up a couple tools, or Home Depot. You go to Target and you go to Walmart. Those are going to be the top stores to go to. You want to go to places with tools like Home Depot. You want to go to places with everything like Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, especially in Long Island because they have weapons there. The Walmarts out there have weapons. They have long guns. They have things that you can purchase out there, which is good and which is safer and is going to boost your chances a lot. A lot, okay? These places have a variety of things, which is so good. And, these are some of the places that you want to go because, especially Walmart, you're going to be invited by a surplus of food and supplies. So let's talk about some important stuff, like certain supplies that you might need and things that you need to stock up, like necessities. Like I said, this is just an overview, a general podcast on surviving in NYC and things that you're going to want to need. And you can also use this to survive anything. And like I said, there's something very important that I want to talk with you guys about. Around 2-3 years ago, if you guys did not know, there was a Project Halo that the military was involved in, and you might say, oh, zombie apocalypse aren't real. So I want you to ask yourself this. I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you very carefully. There was a project that or whatever that the military was working on, and they were working on how to contain a zombie apocalypse. They had other militants dressed up as zombies chasing them, and the military had paintball. It was just a routine training that they were working on just in case of a zombie outbreak. So ask yourself, why would the military be preparing for something like that if it's not possible, if it doesn't exist? Hint, there is a possibility, and who's to say and who knows what possibilities are there? What viruses could there be? What can these viruses potentially do to the human mind? It might not make us the way the zombies look, but it can do something very bad, very harmful. Ask yourself. I'm going to find the video. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you could check it out for yourself, but this is something for you to, look into. Now, let's get back to some of the necessities that we're going to need. I'm going to go through this nice and quick. I don't want to have such a long, lengthy video, but this is just important stuff that I want you to be prepared. You need flashlights, right? So flashlights in the dark. You might want to travel at night because it's less likely the zombies can see you. It's dark. I don't know. I don't want to travel at night. That's type scary. I'm scared of stuff like that, but especially in the zombie apocalypse. Duct tape. The heavy-duty duct tape. Believe it or not, duct tape can do a lot. This is a thing that I've learned in some of the zombie shows and movies that I watch. You can get a nice thick book, right? And duct tape the book right to the forearm of your arm. And if a zombie potentially does go for the hand, they're usually going to go for the neck, the shoulders, or the arm, or the legs. You duct tape a nice book to your arm, and if that zombie tries to bite, he's going to get a nice bite of a bunch of paper. He's going to chew on paper. And it's good that it's not your hand. You're going to need rope, and that's whether you're going to, have to kill somebody, tie somebody up, or you're going to have to just maybe leave a rope around the premises and maybe attach it to something so that if a zombie does walk by it, the rope might pull and shake, and it shakes and makes a noise. I don't know. Boots, you're going to need comfortable boots or sneakers because you will be running a lot, which means that right now, if you're overweight and you eat too much junk food and you're not healthy and you have bad cardio or stamina and you just need to work out, you need to be prepared because you're going to be doing a lot of running in the zombie apocalypse. And that's going to suck that you get bitten because you were too slow. You're going to want to get foods that don't perish. Canned foods is very important. Stock up on water. Water has a decent life on if you go and get a whole bunch of bottled water. That's going to be really heavy, but stock up on just enough for you to make it from point A to point B. You're going to need first aid. That's general, peroxide, alcohol, gauze pads, bandages, ace bandages. You're going to need goggles. A lot of people are very, very careless and don't realize how important goggles will be in the zombie apocalypse. If you do knife that zombie close up personal in his throat or his head, and their blood gets anywhere into your eyes or your mouth or your nostrils, who's to say that you can't turn? We don't know that, which leads to another thing. It's good to know if you are able to figure out how long it would take before someone turns. That's a good thing to know. You want to know how much time you have left before your grandmother turns to a flesh-eating zombie. Okay. Next thing is if possible, get body armor, some type of thick clothing to protect yourself. And if we're gonna talk about some weapons, I can always go into a list of weapons in a whole nother video. But let's just talk about some weapons like that are gonna be great for you and is going to be easy for you to find. You're going to want a katana, maybe just like Michonne in The Walking Dead. It's not heavy. It's pretty lengthy. You can get a nice chop at someone. You're going to want maybe a sharp pole that isn't too long where it won't be useful, just enough so that you can penetrate a zombie's head from far with a knife, maybe duct tape a blade to the, to a stick or something. You're going to want maybe a bat, whether metal or wooden, and maybe you can alter it, add a couple long nails, so if you do swing, it could potentially penetrate the zombie's head. Hammers are good, and there's always these cool hammers. They have, like, double edges, and it's nice and quick, quick hammer to the head. Should knock out and destroy a zombie's brains. A bow and arrow, but if you're not good with a bow and arrow, a crossbow like Daryl, it's silent and deadly. And although you might think that guns will be more useful, I feel that guns are just primarily to fend off people, not zombies. Because when you shoot a gun, you're going to bring more noise to you, which would potentially bring more zombies to you, which would make you even less safe. So the guns are really for people that are going to try to rob you for your weapons and all your goods and everything, okay? So you might need a crowbar. Crowbars are good weapons. You're definitely going to want maybe a water purifier if you don't have water, energy drinks, night vision goggles for at night, a dog, and this can go either way. You might want a dog that is gonna alert you, not one that is gonna just bark and bring all the zombies to you. So not any dog. An EpiPen, just in case. You're gonna need some type of medication if you have problems or you have any type of sickness that requires constant medical attention. It's gonna suck that you don't have that and you end up dying in the apocalypse for that. You're gonna need binoculars so you can see at a distance, maybe whether there's people riding. You just want to be able to look at and see what's happening from a distance. Binocular, fire starter, compasses, watches, a shovel, radios, solar powered items, any type of communication that is gonna be like walkie-talkies, because eventually what a lot of people don't understand is that when things hit the fan, everybody's going to stop. No one's going to be working in the telephone store and running the power grids and working with telephones. No, everyone's leaving to protect their own booties. Pocket knives, anything small, chainsaws, not the chainsaws that are in the machines, but like the hand chainsaws, just in case you have to cut off a wood or something, or maybe, if you get bit, you're going to have to cut that arm off before it infects your whole body. Any tactical vest that's going to help you for holding a bunch of items. You can even put one on your dog to hold a bunch of things. Lighters. Bike is a very efficient transportation, just in case, it's no gas needed. You can get a bike. You and your whole group can have a bike. You can go from point A to point B really fast. You can outrun zombies on a bike really quick. And it's quiet, so no one's gonna hear you. Hand crank items where you'd be able to just keep cranking it up and keep using it. You want to be able to have a radio with you at all times, just in case, like the government's trying to see who's still alive and trying to, let you know where the safe haven is. You're gonna need to know where that at. And Black Hawk gloves. These are like gloves that are very strong, heavy duty. You can like punch a zombie's face in. It also protects you. It's nice and sturdy, so if a zombie does potentially, bite you, because I've always said, how strong are the zombies that they could bite? Like, do they bite through like everything? Sheesh, because in The Walking Dead it looks like they could bite through metal. But that's a whole nother thing. But another thing that I want to say was a compass is very important, because what a lot of people don't know is that in the zombie apocalypse, in my situation, I'm prepared to go north. And a lot of people don't say this, but north it gets colder. So the more you start heading up towards like Canada, it just gets colder and colder and colder. So the first thing I would do in a zombie apocalypse is definitely bunker in with two of my very close friends, Holly and Brody, in Canada, because one, it's cold. There's less of a population there, which means less zombies. And the colder it gets, and when it snows, the zombies are either going to be frozen to death or are going to die. We don't know, but I know they will be walking and moving much slower because of how cold it is. So that's a very important thing that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people don't talk about this. So this is pretty much a breakdown of everything involving, you know, surviving a zombie apocalypse in New York. And I really hope that you enjoyed this. And if you want to hear more podcasts, maybe on any situation, you know, leave a comment below. Let me know how, you know, what you think about it, and let me know what's your take. You know, drop a comment if there's another video you would like me to do, and just keep on giving me the feedback that I want, and we'll work on more videos. Thank you so much, and this is Jasper signing off. Click the link in the description for the next videos that I'm going to do, or anything else. Like, comment, subscribe, and just show some support. It means a lot to me. Thank you, and Jasper signing off.